Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready. Focal seizures that come on a monthly basis. So apparently I've been having focal seizures for over 5 years and only recently learned that they were seizures. They'd been misdiagnosed as panic attacks for years until I finally was able to see a neurologist. I'm still sort of processing the diagnosis, but I did have a question for anyone that might be having somewhat similar experiences to me. Now I have a better understanding of what's going on. So I get focus seizures on sort of a monthly schedule, not dissimilar to a period, usually lasts around 3 to 7 days, with me experiencing as many as one seizure per hour on the worst days. I'm fully aware that these seizures can be influenced by hormones. The only thing that confuses me is that I've been on and off birth control for years, often using the pill to skip periods, and it doesn't seem to greatly affected the monthly schedule of my seizures. They are fairly regular. How does this work? Has anyone else similar experienced this? Anybody else get seizures once a month? No, this sounds like kind of a female thing, and we landed in the wrong category.
Actually, for a bit, I was getting kind of like monthly seizures. It wasn't like, down to the day, but it was happening like seemingly around the end of each month for about 5 months. And in my epilepsy journal, one of the things that you can check off for reasons is it literally says due for one, where sometimes your body is just kind of like due for it. And if that's a monthly thing, that makes sense, I will say.
Have you ever thought they should do a correlation study with men and their hormones and epilepsy?
I was gonna say men and hormones. There has been studies, like there is like a male period, like, so to speak, where our hormones do, like, go through fluctuations. Like if you ever, all the men here, if you ever feel like you have a weepy time of the month, that's your male period. It is a thing, okay?
So in the comments, somebody said mine were similar before I started taking testosterone. I would get extremely anxious and restless before my period, which is also commonly something that happens before my seizures. I have other triggers as well, so it wasn't an exclusive for me, but it was a factor. Another female said, yeah, that is me exactly. I want to hold your hand right now and march into the neurologist's office. I take BC pills on a continuing basis, so I don't even have to get my period. Nonetheless, these damn focal seizures haunt me on a monthly basis, just like yours. The first day is bad, and then it gets better over the course of a few days to a week. What does your neuro think? Mine is baffled.
Where did all of our females go? Lufa! Lufa!
Right, Lufa, where you at?
Also, like, we need Kate and Sailor Mom, and come on.
Yeah. So I got a new one. 23 years old, just got diagnosed. I'm pretty new here, and I got diagnosed with TLE this Thursday. I thought my seizures were just migraine auras, and that I had very bad migraines that made me throw up for hours and made me go to the hospital. But I turned out that these might be auras or seizures, and many seizures in a row. give me bad migraines. But as I said, I was diagnosed on Thursday, and I've never heard of this condition before, and I feel so lonely. I have had 2 to 5 seizures every day at work and home these past weeks because of stress. So now I'm having a long-term sick leave for a month. Norway, aka paid sick leave for a month on end, and I cry almost every day after I got the diagnosis because I feel so lonely and lost. My favorite hobby is climbing, and I have a driving lesson next week, but now I'm not allowed to do any of them, until I can control my seizures. I don't understand my own condition, so it's hard to explain for my friends and family. I feel so lost and alone, and it's so scary to know if I'm going to get worse seizures than I already have, and that the doctor said probably have seizures in my sleep because I wake up exhausted. I also am supposed to start taking Lamictal now, but I am scared because I have ADHD and I struggle so hard to just take my ADHD medication and read it that could be dangerous to forget to take a pill. I am so scared. Doesn't say if it's a female or a guy, but yeah, I got before 16, I wasn't scared. When I started paying attention to myself, I got kind of scared. Like, damn, this is serious. I didn't take it as serious at first. As a child, I didn't know anything. I was told you have epilepsy, take these pills. Child, like I said, after I started paying attention to it, I started like, oh man, this is really going on, and I should have paid attention to this 5 years ago.
If driving wise, yes, we all understand that. That sucks. The climbing thing, though, they don't have to give that up as long as they just make sure that they're like harnessed properly. That's the whole point of the climbing harness. If you slip or you can't hold on, you're protected. So they can still do that. They just have to make sure they're safe about it. It does suck though. Like finding out and trying to work through it, what can I do? What can I do? No,
Especially in the first beginning, you're like, I got no one. I don't know anyone who goes through this. Like, I thought it was
yeah.
a world just me. To be honest, I was like, I don't know who has this. I don't know if it's just me. Is it that rare?
And then you end up finding out, like, I thought it was rare when I got diagnosed, because the only other person that I knew who I still need to get on this fucking chat, but like his memory is shot, and also the ADHD that a lot of us have too, where he's like, yeah, I'll be there. No, I gotta think anyway. He was the only other person that I knew who had epilepsy, and I hadn't even spoken to him in like 6 years or something, and then now we like talk a lot, but it was because of because I got diagnosed and I was like, hey, you're someone I can talk to, but also now with the chat and everything, and it's like, oh, so many people have this that don't have anyone to talk to, so you don't realize that they have it because they don't think that they have anyone to talk to.
Yeah, I bet I've walked past or had so many conversations with people with epilepsy and just never brought it up because, like, who wants to talk about my epilepsy?
I don't just mention it as like, hi, I'm Brandon, I have epilepsy, how are you? Like, that'd be
right.
fucking
Hey, I got this nice bracelet here. It says I have epilepsy. Check it out.
Well, at least if you give someone a handshake and they see it and they ask about it, then you can explain without it being weird.
Being that it is red, it kind of sticks out a lot, so that's great. That was the goal. They didn't have a yellow one, but yeah, it's red. It sticks out, regardless of what I'm wearing.
Pokey, how are you yawning and stretching right now? For you, it is 6 o'clock. What is going on?
When you smoke pot, it just seems to happen like that. It's just It's all over the place. Wide awake though. Yeah.
He didn't even. He wasn't even looking. He wasn't even looking. I'm wide awake too. I'm smoking.
Yeah, I got this right here. It was the response to that 23-year-old just getting diagnosed. Someone said I was diagnosed in my mid-20s. I didn't know anyone with it, and it was tough in the beginning. You have to put in effort to get into a routine and take a medication every day, put an alarm on your phone to remind you every day. Over time, I found out things that can bother me, like alcohol and caffeine and lack of sleep. Be diligent. Someone else said, what were your symptoms like? I have had something similar, deja vu, so intense that in my episode, my boyfriend panicked. My visual auras were diagnosed as silent classic migraine, as the frequency was high. We are still investigating. 23 to find out. I think that would have been better than me finding out at 16. I probably would have paid attention to it. Another post right here says, maybe epilepsy. First timer. I have been experiencing ringing in my ears at night, and it escalates to the point of extreme pain in terms of loudness, and it's very loud sounding. Sharp stabbing pains in my head when it is at the loudest, then follows some kind of convulsion. My body locks up and spasms and jerks uncontrollably. My wife says I also make some kind of noise, like I'm shocked. This has been going on for a year. I only realized yesterday that it might be epilepsy. I don't have much knowledge of the condition. So I saw my doctor today. I have an MRI on Monday and the appointment with a neurologist in a few weeks. I have been told I am not allowed to drive or do my job. Traffic controller. Does anyone else have any experience with these symptoms? Feeling a bit overwhelmed and apprehensive. Didn't give much experiences about epilepsy. None of those sounded like seizures. He really just said the ringing in his ears like I don't know. I get ringing in my ears. I don't get the stabbing pains. Might that be epilepsy, you guys?
I didn't hear any other of his symptoms other than the ringing of his ears. So I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, like if it's just ringing in his ears, like he probably just has tinnitus.
Did he have a seizure yet? Like, I'm a little. He didn't really clear it up there for us.
Yeah, made it a little tough.
A little bit.
He just said basically the ringing in the ears.
That could be anything.
You just have tinnitus,
That
dude.
could literally be anything.
Yeah. Like I know so many people who just went to too many concerts when they were young, and now they have a constant ringing in their ears. It's tinnitus.
Yeah, the last thing I would worry about for me is ringing in my ears because I blast my music, so I would just chalk it up to me blasting my music.
Yeah, it was like when I went to the concert. I didn't hear the ringing until I got home, and it was silent. And I laid in my bed, and it's just like ringing.
And then you hear it. And then you hear it.
I'm like, it was that loud that I didn't hear it till now. Like,
No regrets.
The ride. I was asleep, so.
Oh,
man.
how I miss going to concerts.
Why can't you go to concerts?
No, I'm just like a grumpy old man at this point. Even though I'm not old, I'm just like,
Fair enough.
yeah, just grumpy
I
and
get
jaded.
that. I go to
The
concerts.
youths and
I go to concerts by myself.
youths and crowds. Ugh.
Crowded
dare
and so
you.
loud.
You little youth monster sitting in crowds, you gross speck.
Well, no, it's more it's the youths and then separately the crowds. It could be a bunch of old people in a crowd. It's the combo.
Crowds. I have social anxiety, but I prefer to go to concerts by myself because I feel that it's more of a burden to go with someone else. No offense to the other people.
I do agree with that. Yeah. It,
Yeah, because then
when
you gotta
I
get the
when I go to a concert or something, um, it's always that burden of like, where's the person I came with? But if you just go by yourself, you're completely unburdened. It's like
yeah, you can get whatever seat you want. You can do
also
whatever
you can
you
leave when
want. Yeah, it's like it's the best going by yourself, and so many people are like, "What? You're so brave for that." And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm brave?" Like I get it. People are weird at concerts, but people are weird everywhere. I go for the enjoyment of the concert, not for pictures and shit.
Yeah, I like taking like one video or
Yeah,
like
of course I'll take like,
picture
but people go
just
like
to.
it's a fucking photo shoot. Like it's
But
like
yeah,
met.
you can't act like oh well. Also, you get the people who are holding up their camera in front of like you're behind them.
Or with the
Phone.
flash on in front of your face too, and you're
Fuck
like,
off.
dude, get out of here.
I'm sorry, James. I'm gonna respond to what you messaged me. I don't remember what I was talking about when you said you agree.
I kind of look like a big weirdo right now, but I'm about to dye my hair.
Well, I was like thinking earlier. I was like, dang, Luff is all glammed up today.
Yeah, no, I did that because I was bored, but I'm gonna dye my hair because I'm bored. Like I'm
Dressed up in a full suit just to walk to the grocery store and get like a couple vegetables and something. Like sometimes
I
you
got
just want
something.
sometimes you just want to get fancy.
I got something here. It says my mom just asked something that made me really sad. I told her about how my other friends with epilepsy has been kind of pulling away, and then she admitted she's feeling overwhelmed about my epilepsy and stuff, but like didn't tell me for months. To be honest, I lost a lot of friends when my epilepsy got bad. I don't have many friends, and my mom was like, "I think you should stop talking about your epilepsy with anyone but family." And I'm like, "You want me to be silent about my epilepsy?" It kind of made me want to disappear. LOL. Like my epilepsy is just a burden to everyone in my life. I'm so sorry. I can't just fake and smile and pretend disability doesn't affect me in every aspect. How would you deal with such a person who does such things? If it's my mom, how do I deal with that? Mm, mm. My mom is my rock. I don't know. I couldn't imagine my mother saying those things. Um, mm. Where would you go in this situation, Brandon? I'm
Uh,
assuming this person lives with their mom, so there's no other situation.
well, I mean, yeah, like my mom is my rock too, but I mean, I live alone. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, like I can always turn to my mom if I need help, but I don't need to necessarily, I guess. I have more of a like I have more support than just my mom. Wait,
Kevin,
did I answer that correctly or did I completely miss the plot there?
uh, I think the response was just like, how do you deal with basically the closest person to you telling you, you shouldn't talk about your epilepsy, keep it to yourself,
Oh,
basically.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, that would drive me insane. Because the people who are closest to you are supposed to be understanding. And if someone were immediately like, or the second that someone was dismissive or trying to be like, please stop talking about this, I would just cut them off because that's not fair to like us as people. You know what I mean? Like we are still human. We still have things that we need to talk about and deal with. And if someone who did that to me suddenly turned around and was like, oh, I'm having an anxiety attack, I'm not just going to be like, yeah, so what? I would try and help them. It's just you got to be helpful to everybody no matter what.
Sound like if this person isn't being empathetic to your situation, maybe you need to make this person understand your situation a little more. I don't know. It doesn't sound like uh she's getting the full picture. Something's missing here, or I'm not getting the full context. Perhaps she doesn't understand something, uh, the depth of what you're going through, or the depth of how much this is hurting you. Um, or maybe she has a, I don't know what her hangup is, but I think at this, maybe you just need to get through to her somehow, because it sounds like you can't cut this person out of your life. This isn't a person you can get rid of. And so you need to, perhaps at some point, you have to, is there a responsibility on your shoulders to make this person understand? Because if they're not going to understand, maybe you need to get through to them. You need to break through to that. Does that sound fair?
Any answer is a good answer. It's going to help somebody.
Not even just to say that it was just an answer. It was a good answer, Kevin.
Yeah.
It was a good answer.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to help someone. Someone will hear your answer and say that was the perfect answer, like Brandon. People started calling seizures fits, and it's just not sitting right with me. I've seen an upward trend in people calling seizures epileptic fits, as of recently, and it's making me wonder why the word seizure isn't enough. Why are they calling them fits now? Because I associate the word fit with something that people always consciously do, like a little kid threw a fit because they couldn't get what they wanted, or something along those lines. While seizures, on the other hand, are obviously something we can't control and aren't something we would go out of our way to have. What is everyone's thoughts on this? I've heard it. If you've heard it, or even not, how do you feel about it? Um, that's like saying people have the panic attacks. I don't like when they say it and then you get misdiagnosed for it, but yeah, I don't let them. Depends on who's saying it or the context. Like you're having a fit or something like that. But yeah, I hate that they're calling the non-psychogenics and stuff like that, saying they're not seizures. Um, yeah, those are crazy to me. You're having fits and episodes, and it's not a seizure; it's a in your mind type thing. So yeah, I understand the person there. That can get annoying, especially how your mental health is going. Certain people take it harder than others.
This,
I'll go through a comment. First comment says, I'm a
There we go.
boomer, and my mother always called them fits. It was embarrassing to her. I think 4 of her 5 children have epilepsy. I think back then it was shameful, like epilepsy was related to mental illness. Times change.
4 out of 5.
Time to
Holy
stop having
shit!
kids.
Whoa. Sorry, I mean, it sucks.
oh,
We all understand, but like that is just a wild percentage.
Yeah, especially when you don't like it. So then you got to think bad about 4 different children. The next comment says, I think it's very common in older populations and more of a European term. Maybe you are from North America. Maybe it's just my family, though. I'm in part of the US. Older family members would call them spells and super hushed tones. You know, the way racists say black in a whisper when describing a person's race, like that. My grandmother called my seizures fits until the week before she died. She was 94, I was 47. Has to be a generational thing.
I mean, nomenclature does change. I mean, I was calling my seizures certain things that I didn't even know until like last week. The petite malls, I was calling them, I thought the myoclonics were, you know, petite malls. And then I think Brandon, you actually gave me a further definition of that. But I was pretty sure my first neurologist called them petite malls. And but I'm pretty sure that guy was a kook. Um, yeah, yeah,
And
I'm
that's the
pretty
thing. It's
sure. Yeah,
like
but
you're living with
yeah,
it day
yeah,
to day, so like it's easier for you to sort of um see the small nuances that, I mean, like we've been talking about, and like Pookie said when he went to his neurologist, like he had everything written down, where it's like if you don't have everything to a T written down, there's gonna be something you're gonna forget. It's bound to happen, and then that small thing may make your neurologist go, "Oh, well, it sounds more like this."
well, where did I learn the word petite mall from then? Because I've been using that word for so long. I've been using that word since my teens, and so I mean, I don't know. It's just, but I saw the chart of all the seizures and their types, and it's like, I don't know, 30 or 40 types of them, or something like that, 20, 30. So,
I
and
Yeah, and it's wild that people only think of I can't remember who
so,
said it. I kind of hate the term, but the floppy fish.
That
yeah.
was Jocelyn.
That was just okay.
I love that term, the floppy
Yeah,
fish.
I
I'm
also
not
love
too
the
offended.
involuntary
Yeah.
breakdance. I think it was that was another one that I heard that was good.
I mean, if you're going to use the word fit, I'm not terribly offended, unless, they're being a dick about it or something.
Yeah, it really just comes down
So
to like
whatever.
the tone that's used by the person saying it. Like if I know you and I know that you respect me and my condition, and you say, you having a fit?" I'm gonna be like, "Ah, fuck you." But I won't take it
Yeah.
seriously. But if it's somebody who I have a problem with or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, having a fit," it's like, "Fuck you." Completely
Yeah.
different, like, intonations of the same words. Like you could say it one way.
Hmm.
I can respond with one phrase. You could say it another way with a different tone. I could respond with the same words with a different tone, and it means something totally different.
Right. It's like, all right, man, and you can cut that shit out now, or because it's
Fuck around and find out.
disrespectful. Yeah.
For me, it's fuck
Mhm.
around and find out. I have um like many years of fight training, throwing knives. Yeah, like if somebody wants to fuck around, they're gonna find out.
Yeah, you got. I see all those bike parts. Yeah, you could really use them as a, you know, what I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, what was he? I got lost in the conversation. I don't know.
uh, I think it was when people aren't respecting you or What was that? What it was, Pookie?
Oh, okay, yeah, you're gonna use them as a weapon or something.
Oh no, I
But
was saying no, no, no.
I
Saying if
think
someone.
I think I made a joke and it got totally lost.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, uh, the, the past minute is completely deleted. Delete the
Throwing
past
knives
minute.
seems great,
It's just
Brandon.
Huh?
There somewhere.
Throwing knives seems great.
Oh, it's so relaxing, and like there's like a behind my apartment, the along uh the fence is like it's like wood paneling, or like wood logs. So it's a perfect spot to practice, just right outside my building. Um, and my neighbor, uh, like, is really into it, and he was amazed with the fact that um, I was as good as I am at throwing with only like a month of practice or so. And then I took basically the whole winter off. And then 2 months ago, him and I were out throwing together, and I got it all back.
Mm.
And I was getting throws that he couldn't even do. And he was like, "Dude, what are you? How do you?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. I just know my knife. Like, that's all it
Mm.
is. I know my knife."
That's amazing. It really is.
It's all balance, finding the weight.
Yeah.
Just like when I spin a pen around my fingers, you just find the weight point, and then you can flick it around.
What do you do when you have arthritis in every joint in each finger?
Smoke those joints.
I've been getting really bad. Like, carpal tunnel happens here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been feeling that recently. The carpal tunnel.
But the carpal tunnel is in one spot. I have arthritis in every joint. It's
Oh no, I
14 in
know.
each hand.
I wasn't trying to compare. Sorry, I'm not a certain person who tries to one up everybody else.
Mm. I know what you mean, man. Gotcha. We don't keep those kind of people around so very often. Anyhow, I got something here. It says sleepy hacks. All right. I need all the sleepy hacks. My 10 milligram melatonin and sleepy time tea isn't cutting it anymore. I'm stayed away from the benzos now, but open to other things. Bring on supplements and routines that work for all of you. Teach me your ways for getting a good solid 8 hours. First of all, I might not get 8 hours. And then secondly, I wish I had some melatonin that works. So that there.
I never get 8 hours. My body is scheduled to wake up. Um, if I have work at 5:30, I will wake up a few minutes before my alarm every day. Um, and then on weekends when I don't have to wake up early, it's usually around 7:30. And I'm going to bed around 11, 12, between 11 and 12 every night. So I'm getting 5 to 7, like five for the most part. 7 is on the weekends. Um, it, Sleep is like I sleep like a rock, though. My body just completely knocks out, and makes up for the lack of time. I don't have any sleep hacks that I can add to that, other than just being so exhausted that you just drop.
you know, I mean, it's so hard to get 8 hours because the I don't think the lifestyle of humanity is let's just get 8 hours. You got to plan ahead for 8 hours. You got to eat your meals at the right time. You got to, you know, do everything. You got to
Have all of
start
your
your
errands
morning,
done.
you know,
Every
everything.
errand
And
has to.
it's got to be a routine. And that's for everyone. And I always say, not just epileptics, it's everyone. They don't get 8 hours because I don't think they're physically fit, and people don't like hearing that. But everyone needs to have their day. It, you know, it's got to start with waking up at the right time, having that right routine, and you know, even exercise is important. Um, I I don't drink water after a certain point because makes me wake up. All those chemicals going through your body, your medicine, yeah. So I think you just got to get in the right routine. I've always emphasized this, uh, and when you find that one, that helps you get into the good circadian rhythm. That'll then you'll start that metabolism and everything, whatever. Then you'll find a good 8 hours.
And it doesn't necessarily even need to be 8 hours, as long as your body
Yeah,
like is used to, okay, at this point in in the day, I'm ready to go to sleep, and then that will give me enough time, more than 5 hours. I know I said I operate okay at 5 hours, but let's be honest, I should be getting more than that. Um,
yeah,
like if your body is used to going, this time I go to sleep, this time I wake up, this is the routine,
yeah,
it will be easier to just fall into it, but you have to kind of force yourself to do it.
yeah.
I will say, if they're falling asleep, like staring at their, or if they're trying to fall asleep, like staring at their phone or something, that's not going to help. Um, like the blue light, I think it is, thing
It's a good
is,
point. Yeah.
it is real. You have to watch out for that. Also, it depends
Uh-huh.
on how much time they spend in bed when they're not sleeping, because I have read that so like if you just hang out in your bed um and like watch TV but you're not going to sleep, your body doesn't associate the bed with sleep as much. So like the only time that I go into my bed is when I'm going to sleep. So the second that I lay down, my body knows, okay, it's bedtime. If I were to like lay down on the couch or something, it wouldn't like happen as easily. Like I wouldn't fall asleep as easily. Because my body's like, no, this is where we hang out and watch TV.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, it is a real thing. Like, just try to only go into your bed when you're actually going to sleep, and it will help you fall asleep easier.
Yeah. So the thing with the getting 8 hours of sleep, my body is usually waking up around the time it usually wakes up when I take my pills, which is 10. So I'm usually looking at the wall around 9:30 to 9:50. Then I check the clock and I'm like, oh, it's almost time to take my pills. But other than that, I don't get that full 8 hours because I have insomnia. So sometimes I'm going to sleep at 4 and my body just wakes me up at 10. And then I've been taking this B12 and yeah, I just sometimes I'll wake up at like 7 or 8 and I just can't go back to sleep. Um,
I've
yeah.
I have found, like, because on the weekends my body still will want to wake up early. That it, like scrolling through like the mod chat or like whatever has been said in the mod chat or the tip jar chat or whatever, um, for like 5 minutes. At that point, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good, and I like pass out again.
Yeah, sometimes I'm able to go back to sleep. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I fight that sleep, the one where you like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, so
Did
I
you see
fight
the
that.
Wait, hang on, Pookie. I guess. Wait, what was the last question that we were talking about?
The 9 hours, the 8 hours of sleep.
Oh yeah,
Not
Toaster.
able
What
to
do you
do it.
got?
Toaster isn't able to get 9 hours.
Oh
Actually, she's
God,
like Scott.
I do. I have ecstopher. Now I am an insomniac as well. Um, s- always, always. I was the child that got in trouble for reading under the covers at night instead of, sleeping.
I need
Um,
glasses because I would read books at night from the
yep.
hall light, and it wasn't enough, so my eyes just got.
I had a flashlight that pushed right on my shoulder so I could read, and then I'd wind under the covers. But I've always had problems, and it kind of came to a head when I was 14 or 15, and I got a sleep study done, and they were like, "Okay, you're supposed to sleep for this," and then I didn't sleep. And so they came back and they were like, okay, we're going to make you go to sleep. And I don't remember what they gave me, but I went to sleep. And then they're like, okay, you're waking up like every hour or so. Do you know that? Yeah, I do. So it's trouble getting to sleep and staying to sleep. It's two different things. And the combination of Excopri and Ambien is just divine. Not only does it get me to sleep, it makes me stay asleep for like 8 to 10 hours.
Wow, you were answering correctly. Go keep going.
There's Strange New Worlds.
That's
And
the one.
then
Okay.
that's Captain Pike. Like before it's Enterprise before James T. Kirk captains it. And this past episode was basically them trying out the holodeck for the first time. It's very reminiscent of the next gen um episodes where Captain Picard's in the holodeck and doing mysteries.
Interesting.
Scotty.
I'm watching Next Gen right now.
Oh,
TNG.
oh, and Pokey, it's hilarious because my screen, like in the gallery view, is next to yours. And so when I don't have the green ring around me, my screen next to yours looks so fluid. It looks like we're sitting in the same room because I don't know, like the light and the colors flow so perfectly.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Meaning that my background is white. Yeah. What was I gonna say? But yeah, like sleeping 8 hours lately, like I try to fight it. I try to fight that going to the bathroom because I know if I go to the bathroom, I'm up now. Because like I said, this unwanted energy is there for some reason. I can't sleep. Like I'll yawn, I'll be smoking. That's the only way to get tired is smoking. Um, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this works.
Oh shit.
But I don't want to smoke every night, so
You
sometimes I
gotta
just
get yourself you gotta get yourself an actual sleep bed. Like, and I don't mean like just dive into straight Ambien or something like that. I mean, there's other sleep meds out there. Like there's
Well,
Seroquel. Seroquel is a good one, and it's not
and he tried melatonin, but it didn't work.
well. Melatonin. One, our meds will affect our melatonin intake and our body's ability to actually use melatonin. What's funny is melatonin makes you sleepy, but it's not the only thing that can make you sleepy. And I
Uh,
forgot what you
oh,
know. I
sorry,
I don't
Toaster.
want to
I'm gonna
go
cut
ahead.
you off for 1 second. I'm so sorry. I did not realize how late it was. I'm gonna head out. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their evening.
yeah.
We're getting
So
into the insomniac club.
yeah, Toaster. I'm taking hydroxyzine. Well, no, that's what they gave me for the insomnia to sleep, but I do not take it because they wanted me to take it with melatonin, and then 3 times a day. So basically, it just had me sleepy all day. Um, it
No,
just
it's
had
not
me,
like, you know.
yeah, it just had me prepared to go to sleep. It's like take these 3 times a day, and then at night take a melatonin with them. And I was just like, I don't have time to sleep all day. Yeah, never worked. Yeah, they wanted me to get what's it called? Um, those other pills, the melatonin to take with it.
I
So I did it
really,
one day. I did it one day and it didn't work. And the next day I didn't do it.
I actually do recommend Seroquel
I heard that.
as because yeah, as a sleep med, it's weird. When the Ambien stops working, I go to Seroquel. And when the Seroquel stops working, I go to Ambien. It's like switches off like every year or so.
Seroquel pretty heavy as a drug.
Um, Surprisingly, yes, it's like this tiny little pill, and I take two of them for 150. Well, no, excuse me, I take three. Yeah, and it's supposed to be okay. My medication regimen: two Seroquel, one Excapri, one Ambien. That's at night. In the morning, I take Depakote and Prozac, and the B12. And the Seroquel is the one that makes you stay asleep. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I am allowed to go get a third pill. And it switches. Like sometimes the ambience lower down. Sometimes I don't need the full 12.5. Sometimes I only need like shit. I don't remember. Right now I'm at 12.5. I don't know where you were going with this. But yeah, there's sleep meds out there and you need them.
Yeah, to get 8 hours. Yeah,
Yes.
person needs to find a sleep regimen.
But yes, you don't want to be sleeping all day.
Is it normal to have trouble recognizing faces after a seizure? I had a seizure recently, and since then, I've been having trouble recognizing faces. Even people I know well. It's like I know I should be recognizing them, but their faces still register. I can still recognize voices, names, and other details, just not faces themselves. I'm on Kepra 1500 in the AM, 1500 in the PM. Also, I feel like I'm crawling out of my brain. My tongue is raw, and every muscle in my body is tender. How would you measure if? How would you measure if you are having a fit while in your sleep? I feel drained. I don't call seizures fits, and to have one in my sleep, have not experienced that I know of yet. But I heard nocturnal seizures suck.
Anyone say you got a nanny cam yet?
I suggest the average surveillance should work.
Also, it's um post-ictal headaches are usually pretty clear. Well, not clear. The headaches are not clear, but I mean distinctive for each person. And also just, the muscle tightness.
Do you have
You-
trouble remembering faces? Because I do.
Oh, is that what the question was?
Yeah, I have bad. I'm really bad with faces, and I'm really bad with names too. Sometimes people will tell me their name or tell me their name, and I'll tell them I remember your face, but not your name, and then I don't remember the face either. Sometimes I'm just trying to get a story out of them to make them remind me of it, and it never comes back. So
Yeah, I do that. Like,
I've had conversations with people, and they were just like, "You look like you're just out of it," and I was like, "No, I'm just trying to remember the situation you're talking about. Continue." But yeah, sometimes people just be talking to me, and I do not remember the stories, and I hate to tell them, I don't remember that. And they're like, "Oh, remember when you were a kid and we used to do this and this?" I don't remember that either. But
I would just use a different tactic. I'd come up and be like, "Oh, hey, man.
Use anything
Hey,
but a name.
hey, you. What's up?" I would use like other like terms or whatever. Like, "What's up, dude?"
yeah, I'm bad at that. I was thinking of a situation where I was passing a parking lot and someone was coming out of the parking lot, and she yelled at my name, and I turned around like, "Who knows my name over here?" And yeah, she was like, "Oh yeah, I was at this party with, or I was at some Thanksgiving something with family, and you don't remember me? My daughter is so and so. I know her daughter, but I've never actually met her. I've heard of her because she's family. So she was giving me all these stories of how I should remember who she is, and yeah,
I should I?
I was just giving in like, oh yeah, I remember this event. Some of those events I did remember. I just could not remember her name or her face. And yeah, she was an older woman. I didn't want to tell her I don't remember you at all. So I just kept going, mm-hmm. So I remember the event, just not her. I don't remember her being there. I don't remember her ever introducing herself. All this is word of mouth that she's told me. Um, Rick, you got a problem with faces? Are you pretty good at memory of that like that?
Um, Not with faces, but names. I mean, I used to be good, but I guess my problem is I'll ask somebody their name, and as they're saying it, I'm not paying attention, or it's they'll say their name, and either I was focusing on something else, I didn't really catch it, depending on the situation. Like if it's at work, I'll be like, I'll read their shirt later because our names are on our shirt. Or if it's if it's somewhere else, I'm like,
Everybody needs name tags.
right? Absolutely. So no, it's more like I can't remember their name. It's not, but I'll remember their face. I'm like, oh, that guy goes to church with me, or oh, that's the person who cut me off going to the supermarket.
Yeah,
I definitely remember faces.
titles and voices.
Hmm.
Voices are easier to remember. Have you ever like watched a show and it's like, wait a second, I know that voice. I know that voice.
Hmm.
Is this
Mhm.
from that person from blah blah blah?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know. I was listening to a movie and my kids were in the other room watching Aladdin, and I'm like, they're watching Aladdin. I'm like, what am I hearing? I'm like, that sounds like Will Smith. And I'm like, seriously, I'm like, they can't be watching what I just put on. So I go check, and it's Will Smith in Aladdin. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, I'm in here thinking they're turned off what I put on and put something else on. Um, I wasn't actually paying attention to the songs because if I was, then I would have noticed those are the songs I heard when I was a kid, just sung by Will Smith now.
You were expecting Robin Williams' voice.
Yeah, just some people I don't notice their voice, and then I'm like, oh, I do know that voice. And yeah, like I said, I walked in there and looking at this ghost, I mean, genie dancing or whatever the case. And I was like, oh, yeah, even look at his face. Um, but yeah. Lufa, you got a thing with remembering faces? Oh, you dyed your hair blue?
Don't sound so enthusiastic. Yes. I have
See the
dyed
blue
my hair
hair.
blue, and my blue has dyed me as well. There was a hole in the glove. And when I took off the glove, I looked at my hand, and accepted defeat. So, yes, I've dyed my hair blue with splat.
Yeah. So the question was just, are you good with remembering faces? Somebody said they have trouble
Oh,
remembering faces.
yes. Wait, what? Sorry.
Someone said they have trouble remembering faces.
No, I can remember a face. Well, it depends. I don't remember names, but I can recognize a face and not know who they are, but know that I know them.
Well, after a seizure, sometimes I will look at like my mom and I have no clue who the fuck she is.
There's a comment here that says it's also apparently common to have the opposite too, for someone to recognize strangers as familiar faces. My seizures are mainly focal aware, but I had a handful of nocturnal tonic-clonic clusters, and after the worst cluster, every face I saw looked familiar for about a week. It was actually incredibly unsettling. As for measuring nocturnal seizures, I wear a Fitbit and the heart rate tracker, and it is a good indicator. My seizures are just about controlled at the moment, but anytime I've had focal or tonic-clonics, my heart rate goes up to the roof, and for a few minutes during sleep, it is usually logs it as a workout. I get that sometimes to where I'm like telling people you look familiar, and it's some random guy at the store or something. I've did that.
A lot of people look the same to me.
I've done that. Oh, but
Sorry.
I thought that there was I thought after Caesar once there was a woman. I could have sworn it was our Annie. I could have sworn it was Annie. And I remember my dad telling me afterwards, really, really sweet about it. Dude. He was like, if you need Annie, I'll be Annie. But yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people look the same. I don't know. Some people don't look the same, but then there's just like cluster groups of people that look like where I live right now. A lot of the people just kind of look the same because of how they dress and their hair and their appearance. They all look like they're from one big family. And then people who get like work done to their faces sometimes, like the IG models, a lot of them look the same to me, so I can't tell them apart. Same thing with the guys. I can't tell them apart. They all look the same. So my aunt will be like talking about her friends, and because her friends all kind of look the same to me because of just how they look, I'm usually like, I have no idea who you're talking about, but I wish them the best.
Love the blue.
Thank you.
I move forward.
Yeah, the Blue Line Group.
Say that again.
I'm gonna be part of the Blue Line Group.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are my visions temporal lobe epilepsy? So I'm 20-year-old female and I want to share my story and ask for opinions as I am really confused. So these visions, which I would describe as to be images within the mind's eye, if that makes sense. Started appearing since I was 10 to 11. They appear to follow a pattern, like they don't happen every day. Whenever I am stressed, they appear to follow a lunar pattern as I've recorded. Also, not every month, but 2 or 3 or even 4 months gap during the visions. I don't even show any other symptoms, and hence no one can even spot what I can. When I am experiencing it, these are visions. Just show some images or messages after a few seconds and it stops, and I am back to normal. Like it never happened. I don't know what's going on. Can someone please help me? P.S. I need your help and suggestions. I know as I am too broke for an MRI. Also, my family won't take it as seriously as I have shown no physical symptoms. Please help. This person really needs you guys. Family doesn't care. They don't have the money for an MRI. Come on, you guys. Temporal lobe epilepsy. I don't
Well,
have. I have
first,
epilepsy from brain trauma from the right side of my head. So
first off, they need an EEG, not an MRI. Well, an MRI too. MRI would show if there's like, but an EEG is what people really, 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 really need to show exactly which area of the brain is starting to talk too much without, well, without the funds and without knowing where they are to. But when auras show up in so many different types. And again, yeah, visual hallucinations, auditory hallucinations, those are a part of um, temporal lobe epilepsy. They're part of all epilepsy, manifest in so many different ways. I I can't say if you have temporal lobe epilepsy, but what you're suggesting, you definitely need to look into possibly being epileptic and having epileptic seizures. An EEG, and not just a 30-minute one. Those things don't do shit for you. Need longer.
And Rick, don't you have temporal lobe epilepsy?
Yes, I do.
You got a story for us?
So, let me turn the video back on. Yeah, so I had like a decade of having ear infections, ate away at the bone on the right side, and long story short, I had a brain abscess happen on my right side, and that's what caused my first seizures, and then the scar tissue that I have here. So now I technically have temporal lobe epilepsy because it happens in my right temporal lobe, right front temporal lobe. So that's what the TOE or temporal lobe epilepsy means, that it comes from like one particular area, which is right here. What I had written in the chat was I agree with Toaster that yes, and also James that yes, EEG is needed. This person needs, I think, education for the family, so maybe they could understand how serious it is. Whether it's either doctors or the Epilepsy Foundation or some other YouTube videos, something like that would help with educating their families so that they take it more seriously. And if there's any charity health care where they're at, I'm not sure where this person lives. See if there's any either foundations or if there's any groups that would help defray some of the cost of healthcare. And also teaching hospitals are great to check out because there's a lot of times where in order to help the students, they have different different types of care that can be subsidized or maybe even free. So they should look into things like that.
Yes, I love teaching hospitals.
Someone said, day off. Husband can't wait to get his day off. Must be nice. I'm an epileptic SAHN with a 4-year-old who's going through a phase, and I have to do literally everything around the house too. But yeah, I bet you can't wait for your day off. I wonder if I'll ever get one. Does anyone have to live like this? I think basically she's saying she's feeling like she's fed up. That's what it sounds like. I don't live like that. I don't have to do everything around the house, and the other person do whatever they want. I don't live that way. Anybody else overwhelmed?
I used to live that way. Responsible for making sure the house was clean. God forbid you put something away and that wasn't the right place, or you thought it was the right place, but wasn't the right place. And just have, well, yeah, even while the kids are at school, I mean, that's where you're taking care of the rest of it. We're trying to keep up with the monster laundry, cleanup, taking care of a house is so fucking work, and raising your kids, their type of healing, but they're also, well, a part of it. And I don't want to use the word job, but yeah, job. And everyone deserves a break. You just got to find your out, or you really, really need help getting out of it.
Currently hospital stay. Hey y'all, 33-year-old female, officially diagnosed with focal seizures since May. It's been unknowingly happening since fall of 2024. Been on lamotrigine since May and built myself up to 300 milligrams a month a month ago. I've never missed a dose. 2 days ago, I had 2 back-to-back focal seizures and started feeling extra weird, and my balance was super weird. Couldn't stop leaning to the right and just fell off. Had a friend get me to the ER, and within 30 minutes had another focal walking to get a blood drawn. Sat back down and couldn't do anything but stare at the floors or walls. Couldn't interact with anyone, talk. And my friend told me I was smacking my lips, and if I did answer it, took a few minutes, and it was a one-word answer. Hospital admitted me, got to the MRI, into the room. MRI came back normal. Next day, I had 2 more of those intense staring sessions and lasted between 15 and 30 minutes. Keeping nurses and doctors informed, got an EEG placed on me, and had another intense staring issue. Couldn't talk, smacking lips, etc. For I think another 15 minutes. Was caught on the EEG. This one specifically felt like the walls were closing in, and I got nauseous. Family that was watching the EEG, who were obviously not medical professionals, said my brain waves were very different than when I was just normally talking. I also forget to mention that I have a pounding headache after each of these sessions. Obviously, I'm not looking for medical advice, but I'm curious if any of these symptoms sound familiar to anyone. The blacking out for 15 minutes. I don't know how long I black out for. Some of them I think sounded like 15 minutes from the stories I've been told. But a hospital stay and the smacking lips, I've heard that wasn't me. I haven't done that, the smacking lips thing, but I hear it's quite common. Well, I've heard 3 or 4 people say it, so I wouldn't say it's common, but it's not unheard of.
Not unheard of, and it's definitely not uncommon for each of us to kind of have a noise, if that makes any sense.
Focal seizures. I haven't had many focal seizures to explain, but shout out to Nature's Made by B12. It's working for the focals, like really working for my focals. Still haven't had one, and yeah, I can just say it's because of that. It's been almost 2 or 3 months, maybe 4. Lost track of how long it's been, but I haven't had one, which is good. Good, really good to me. Got one for that current hospital stay. Someone says, I'm not sure if mine are seizures. I'm also on the Lamotrigine, 200 milligrams, but I still get what I call on and off spaghetti leg days and will be leaning or falling to the right, no balance whatsoever. I've almost tripped over my cat. My worst are the same type as yours, lip smacking, leave earth temporarily, confused after a car accident is what led to my diagnosis. I hope these things get better for you. This is really a whopper of a disease. That it is. I really like some opinions, although I know they won't be the best. I totaled my car last Thursday. I was driving to get my mom something she asked for. This was around 8 p.m., around 8:30 to 8:45. I wake up and this random woman in my car helping me and telling me that I had crashed my car during a seizure. My car had ended up facing down the side of the hill that's under an overpass and against a guardrail. I had ran through a pole on a sign and drove into a ditch. I drove into a ditch before my car stopped on the guardrail. The last thing I remember before seizing was the feeling of an aura. Because of this, I remember going to pull over, which is why I ended up under the overpass and not into another car, thank God. I was going about 75 miles per hour at the hospital. They took a CT scan and everything came back fine. All I had was bruising from the seatbelt, a concussion, whiplash, and my body hurts all over, especially my neck. I had been seizure free for so long, and I have no idea what caused this when I feel so incredibly angry and sad and like I want to scream. I feel so stressed and like I'm grieving something. Part of my family has been making me feel so bad about all this. What if you hit a family of 4? What if you killed someone? What if you died? Like I haven't already thought all of these things, and like I don't already feel awful about them. I've totaled my car. I worked so hard to save for it and become seizure free long enough to drive. It's going to take months to save up again for a down payment. I feel like I should have gotten more. I've even processed everything that happened. I'm so angry, I feel like I want to scream and cry and break my teeth and just leave. I don't know how to move on from this. I don't know what to do. I feel completely hopeless. This person wants opinions on their dumb decision, but they haven't called it a dumb decision. All they keep talking about is getting back to driving and saving up for a car. I don't suggest it. I don't want to be like your family and keep overbearing you, telling you it's your fault, or I'm not going to say any of that. But I don't think you should drive. Yeah, like they said, you could have killed a family of 4, 5, whoever the case. You could have killed one, and that still matters.
Take
Yeah.
the world telling you don't do this as the world telling you don't do this.
Right. Yeah, took me crash one time to take it seriously. Yeah, I didn't exactly take it seriously right then and there, but I got it together and eventually I stopped driving. Did not want to die once I figured out, oh, I need to care about my own life and be here for my family. That was the thing. If it wasn't for family, I would have gave up. So says seizure specialist suspects FND. We went through my history and such, and they suspected either trauma related or because I have so many mental illnesses that my brain can't process them normally. We also went through psychosis history, and they also suspected schizoaffective disorder. So if it is FND, they'll send me to a psychiatrist to figure everything out and also see if I have schizophrenia as well. Does anyone have any advice or anything that can help me feel better about this, about if it is FND? I don't know why, but it makes me overthink it as if I'm actually faking instead of having genuine seizures. I don't exactly know what FND is, but computer's right here.
FND is kind of similar to PNES. It's a non-epileptic type seizure, but all seizure types matter. No, you are not faking it. And I have a book that tells me that. And books mostly don't lie.
Yeah, it says functional neurological disorder is diagnosed based on clinical features, patient history, and physical examinations, often with the involvement of neurologists. Yeah, I don't say you're tripping. Functional neurological disorder refers to the condition where patients experience neurological symptoms that cannot be explained by the structural brain changes. Instead, these symptoms arise from dysfunction on how the brain networks operate. Common symptoms include movement disorders, seizures, and sensory issues, which can significantly impact daily functioning. The first comment says FND, PNES are faked seizures. Faked is in quotes. They are seizures that are not epileptic. Your brain is reacting to stress, trauma, past or present, or another psychological process by seizing. For that reason, therapy and treatment of mental health conditions are recommended. AEDs, anti-epileptic drugs, most of the time do not help FND or PNES seizures, except for a few AEDs that also treat mental health conditions. And the person responded, that actually makes a lot of sense. The medication I'm on currently also helps with mood disorders as well as schizophrenic symptoms. What are schizophrenic tendencies?
Get confused with schizophrenic and multiple personality disorder. I know it's completely different. I don't know why I get confused. My mom would know. She was a psychiatrist, well, psychologist, but she's asleep right now.
It's something like a brain doctor, right? I mean, they work with the brain.
Yeah, she worked for the public school systems, helping to identify kids that, well, needed different learning style.
Comes in here says no energy. I slept 14 hours today and I want more. Missed work due to not feeling okay to drive to work, and there's no way for me to get there that I could afford. Plus, I work with children and couldn't risk falling asleep on them. I take 5 medications: Excapri, topiramate, Lexapro, Vraylar, and Yaz. And I've tried fixing my my workout routine, and drinking more water and changing eating styles. Nothing is working. Please, I beg for help. There are so many diagnoses that doctors are giving me, and I'm tired of not getting the answer as to what's causing this fatigue and how to fix it. Please help. I'm only 21. I need help.
She said Excapri. And I wonder when she takes the Excapri, if she takes it at night or if she takes it in the morning.
I think all those are ones that make you sleepy.
I know Excapri does.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about topiramate, but yeah, all those sound like AEDs, right?
Think so.
I've heard of Lexapro, Vraylar, topiramate, and Excapri. Yaz, I haven't heard of, but I would assume it's hell of a cocktail. It says I don't really know how to make a post, so bear with me, but I'm really confused about what's going on right now. Any advice is all appreciated. 18-year-old female, been healthy for most part, and back in March I randomly collapsed and had what looked like a seizure. I don't remember it and hit my head pretty hard when I fell, but a few minutes later I was coherent and speaking again. Because of this, my doctor and paramedic that picked me up all told me it wasn't a seizure and probably wouldn't happen again. Next day, I started feeling really dizzy and hot and twitchy, and my heart starts beating really fast. And I have another one. My boyfriend, who is a licensed EMT firefighter, told me it looked like a full tonic-clonic seizure, but around 3 to 4 minutes afterwards, I was okay and coherent again. I just tired. I had 2 more that night and was admitted to the hospital. They told me that since I didn't look like I was postictal, it wasn't a seize, and I was just anxious and put me on Prozac, 40 milligrams. A full day after the seizures, they ran a 60-minute EEG on me, which showed nothing. So taking Prozac, I go home, and for the next week, I'm having 3 to 4 of these episodes a day. I'm assuming the Prozac made it worse. So I asked to get taken off of it, and I am, which lessens the episodes. My only issue, I'm not anxious. I have nothing to be anxious about. I know when I'm nervous, and I've never gotten so nervous to the point where having what looks like a seizure. I have at least one every week or two, and it's been over 4 months already of being told that this is normal. And I'm just anxious, and I feel like my concerns are being dismissed. I've had horrible brain fogs, migraines, which I've never had in my life until now. My memory has gotten horrible, and during majority of these episodes, I can't speak or think properly for a few minutes or a few minutes after. My doctor said I'm not postictal because if I was, it would last longer. I don't know. I'm just really confused and overwhelmed by all these, especially considered I have no way of managing them and have hurt myself and hit my head so many times already. My friend also told me that it's important to note my whole life I've had issues constantly zoning out around a minute at a time where I'm unresponsive to what's going on around me. So much so I was diagnosed with a dissociative disorder when I was around 14ish. Any advice or input is really appreciated. I have no idea what's going on, but I know this is not normal. I can feel something is wrong, but I'm being dismissed by anxiety at every turn. But yeah, if anyone has had any similar experience, please let me know. I feel alone in this. I feel alone like all the rest of us. That sounds like a seizure. It sounds like they're kind of just brushing it off, which really sucks.
Wait. I'm like the promise. What is the question?
The person was just asking, did all the things that they just do sound like seizures? And
Oh,
yeah, they did sound like seizures. I was trying to keep the most important parts in my head at the right time, but yeah, they did sound like seizures, and you should go see a doctor. And I don't know about the not postictal means you didn't have a seizure.
oh yeah,
Angel,
that's the weird thing. Okay, postictal is a range of time. It's a range of time, and some people are only postictal for a few minutes after. Some people for a day or two after. And for me, I come out of tonic clonic. I kind of come. One is just I'm coming out of a tonic clonic. I am aware. I know that my mom could like lead me to the car. So I could lay down and then I'd wake up in the car. I'm like, okay, what the fuck just happened? I'm very docile while someone's leading me to the car. I'm awake. I'm walking on my own accord, but I am not there in my head. So you gotta really think if these people are asking the right questions to her after she becomes aware, because she might look aware, but maybe just she might still be rebooted.
oh, the party is restarted.
Hey,
I
Hello,
was
buddy.
going to
party.
sleep before you guys got here.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
it's all
I just
right.
got back. I've been working all day, then I just got back from a meeting. I'm sorry. I just interrupted. I'm sorry.
Well,
No,
Oh
hi
it's all
no,
right, Tom.
what
I
you
needed
do
I needed
there?
the energy. You
You
guys
need
are
the
boosting
energy.
energy.
So,
Um,
how's life?
life is great, like you always say. Life is
Life is
good.
like, and I had 2 seizures in the last 2 days, but
oh my God.
yeah. Oh well. It is what it is.
That's Tom.
Tom
Yeah.
101.
There you
101.
have it. There you have it. And let's see who's all here. Who's
Um,
Rusty Man? I never met Rusty.
that's Kevin.
Who?
Kevin.
Kevin? Oh, okay. And Rick and Lapa and James.
The tramp is here. James is new. He doesn't have a camera or a mic. So
Okay. I haven't met James, so I guess that's about par for the course. There's quite a
yeah,
few people I haven't met yet because they're either here before me, before I get on.
I'm
yeah.
meeting you again for the first
He,
time.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Yeah.
isn't that just a wonderful thing about the community is that it just hop on and off at when we can, and it's so freeing, if that makes any sense.
So, Toaster, how are you doing?
I have taken my medicines and I'm going to probably be falling asleep here in a
It
moment.
sounds like you took your ex-copper.
Uh-huh. I did. Took about 30 minutes ago.
and she
Ish.
took
Did I
Ambien.
freeze? Yep.
Oh yeah, and my
Yeah.
Ambien. Yeah, I took my top three and my Ambien. My nighttime meds and everything.
And I was having auras today all day, but I got some emergency medication that
Nice.
is good. I mean, just with auras, I take it. It's I forget what it's called. Uh Camry or uh
I got something here. Uh, suppression of seizure. I just wanted to ask if anyone else has ever been able to somehow suppress an oncoming seizure by focusing on their breathing, for example. I would like to know if that's even possible, or if I may have confused a seizure with a panic attack, because for me, they both seem to feel the same at the start, at least. I haven't been able to stop one, but I've been able to maybe think, is this a seizure? And come to find out, I was having what they call, I was having myoclonic, breaking out into
who?
hives and sweating and hot flashes in public places. Um, Have you guys any way to suppress your seizure? You guys find out any, what they call it, hacks?
Take my medicine.
Well, they gave me clonazepam. Is that right?
Clonazepam. It's Clonopin. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
benzo. It's the
Yeah.
rescue medicine.
Yeah. He gives me 5 of them at a time. And yeah, I like that.
5
They
of
were
them.
good.
How many milligrams?
Uh,
Or
1 1 milligram.
oh,
I mean,
and you gotta
I wouldn't mind taking 3 or 4 of them.
don't please don't.
No, I wouldn't do that. No, because well, it's like the lorazepam. I mean, I can't believe I got a script of 30 one time.
Yeah,
And
it'll make you tired too, and it definitely eases up the mind.
well,
I had
I had to take 2 of them at a time, where some people take a half of one or a quarter of one.
yeah,
Yeah, and I had
I
to take
forgot.
2 of them. And I felt, I never felt anything but when I was giving talks and I had to get up on the platform, I was, wasn't there a lot of time. But I take 2 lorazepam and I was fine. And that was just for stress, I guess.
Yeah, the lorazepam is more for like it will have that extra
Anxiety.
kick for insomnia.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
My wife
because
used to get it also.
yeah,
And
the,
anytime I asked my doctor for some, she'd write me a script.
my friend used to call Clonopin the queen of benzos, whereas Xanax was the king
Oh
and
yeah,
still is. Clonopin's the queen, but
yeah. I can't
it,
believe, it does. I mean, if I was having like I've never had to take one with a seizure, because by the
yeah,
time I have a seizure come on, it's already, you know, I mean, I don't have any time to look for this.
it's going straight through the central nervous system and kicking in.
Right. But if I have an aura, like at work, I'll just pop one of these in and within a minute or so, 2 minutes, about 2 minutes, I'm chill.
Just be careful about it because you know how benzos are. They can
Uh-huh.
be addictive.
Oh, I mean, that's what I mean. No, I take one maybe once a week, maybe, maybe.
Yeah, I would take them with my clusters, and I I still don't. I told them I don't want to because I have to take them nightly anyway. Clonazepam
Oh,
nightly.
oh, yeah.
I didn't want that also to be my rescue medicine because
Uh,
um
no, you don't want because you'd be definitely addicted.
because if my tolerance builds up too fast,
Uh-huh.
I need something stronger to like get me off, you
Right.
know. But um
But yeah, if I see, because as I've told you before, I don't have convulsions anymore.
yeah.
But yeah, but I get auras sometimes that are intense, and it scares me at work, because last thing I want to do is have a seizure when I'm out on the floor.
That always I it always scared me at work, but I tried to keep it at the back of my mind so it
Uh-huh.
wouldn't happen.
A lot of times I can mind over matter it.
And
But if it is if the seizure is going to happen, it's going to happen.
I think I managed. I mean, they had cameras all over the building anyway, but
Uh-huh.
I think the only ones they didn't catch were the absences, but
No, yeah.
I didn't even know about them then either. That I was having absent seizures.
Well, mine are pretty much focal unawares. You know,
Yeah,
I just space for a little bit, and
yeah,
yeah, and I can if I have something to sit on, I'll be cool.
yeah. I'm focal impaired awareness, but basically from my first, and they go straight into grand mal if I guess the focal doesn't stop in time. But yeah, the only aware like the only aware ones I ever had were my clusters.
I don't think I ever had clusters. Like when I have
I
a
wouldn't.
seizure, it's just whip bang boom. It
Oh,
happens,
bang,
and
boom.
then like it having them back to back.
I
Not since
wouldn't.
I've
I
been an
wouldn't wish it
adult.
on anybody. I don't wish epilepsy on anybody, let
No.
alone clusters.
I don't know if you've read any of the. See, I'm also on Facebook. Some of the chat rooms on Facebook. I just read chats. Some of the things that they just come up in my notices in Facebook, and I just read some people's experiences and such. But I read some stuff that freak me out. You know, people post uh things that their kids are having problems or kids are having, and uh sometimes it might someone a child might just start having seizures, and mom and dad are freaked out because they don't know what to do or how to react. And
Yeah, I've always every stuff I've seen with a child and the parent doesn't know
uh-huh.
having a seizure. I have a someone I've been direct messaging, and they think it's a tumor, but I don't want to disclose. So
Right. You know, you didn't mention a name or anything, so it's all good.
yeah,
Don't worry about it.
but I
But
anytime I see something with like a child related, I'm like, I've been through this as a child. Like
uh,
we lived through epilepsy as a child. We don't wish it on a child. Like, let's
yeah.
get to the pro-
Or
let's
wish it
get.
on parents that are dealing with the child with like at
Mm,
Costco.
yeah,
I mean, I'm standing in one spot and I have people come by me all the time, kids with helmets on, you
yeah,
know, kids in wheelchairs and on, and then these little uh like they're being pushed, they almost have a cage on over them, you know, and I don't know why, I don't ask, but I see them come by and I try and be friendly and give them things, you know, just to let them know that somebody cares about them.
yeah. It's
But
like
yeah, it's scary, man. I dread,
I
you
dread
know,
it.
yeah, I feel so bad for parents that are not used to having to deal with something like that, and then all of a sudden they have a child and it's got epilepsy.
I knew what my parents went through and stuff with my epilepsy, and I mean, we all know what we go through with epilepsy, but
Uh,
for a child, yeah, it's like my I don't know what to say. I can't think of the word right now.
well, you
It's
know, I
like
was 13. I was 13 when you know, became epileptic or
I
was
was
diagnosed.
I
And
was basically about to say I was going on 14. I was shy of 14.
uh-huh.
I was 16.
Yeah.
And it was important, you know, I don't remember. You know, I don't remember any of that. I don't remember. Well, I know that I acted out as a child when after I became an epileptic or a teenager, my parents, my mom blamed my acting out on my epilepsy, as though I was I felt I don't know, I guess it had a negative reaction on me, and I, had I just, I just became a real obstinate rotten kid. Felt myself involved in a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have if I wasn't epileptic, if that didn't happen. But as far as being uh traumatizing my parents, as far as me being epileptic, I don't know.
Okay, so I got something here. It says, "Today we are nothing."
Was there an icebreaker today, Cookie?
Huh?
Was there an icebreaker today?
Oh yeah,
The
the
ice is
icebreaker
broken.
today was.
'Cause I didn't get it either.
What do you say when somebody says "so what" when you're talking about something?
What?
What?
You're telling somebody something about something. Maybe you just left the hospital for your epilepsy. What do you say when they say "so what"?
I don't think I've ever had somebody say, so what?
Or "I don't care"?
I'm not getting what you're trying to say here.
If you're talking to
Some
someone, you're telling them about your epilepsy, then they just say "I don't care" out of nowhere.
I don't care or they don't care.
They don't
if
care.
they don't care.
I haven't had that happen. I
What
think
would
I'd
you What
probably
would you do?
punch him in the face. What do you mean you don't care?
Life is good,
I don't
Tom.
care. Actually, I don't care that you don't care. That's irrelevant. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so what? I mean, if
Angel.
I was having a conversation with somebody and that came up that, oh, well, I'm epileptic. They obviously, I mean, I wouldn't have said it unless we had some kind of thing going on. You know what I mean? Having a conversation. If they were to say, so what? I mean, well, that'd be the end of the conversation and move on.
That's me. I walk away.
That's it.
Try to be non-confrontational. You walk
Yeah.
away from the
Yeah.
situation.
I'm non-confrontational.
Me
So
either. That's the Christian in me.
it's
I don't fight, I don't argue, I don't, it's just, hey, huh, it is what it is. In fact, I'm getting my wife there. Because she's a caregiver.
Hmm.
And she's dealing with somebody right now who's just obstinate. And she's having a hard time with it. She has a friend who she's on Zoom right now. My wife does crafts and she does it with a friend on Zoom. But her friend is a real nonchalant, oh well type of person. And my wife was always like, I don't know how she can live like that. Oh well, so what? That's, oh well. And I said, see that, honey? That is the type of attitude you should have. It makes your life a lot easier. So what? Somebody is a butthead. So what? They don't like what you're saying or doing. They want you to do something that you don't want to do. Oh well. I don't. So just tell them, I ain't doing that.
Right.
Don't get upset. Don't let it bother you. Oh well. That's people. Don't let other people bother you or upset you. It's not working.
Called life. Yeah, you let people bother you, you'll be messed up in the head forever. Don't
That's
listen to
it.
people. People
And
suck.
it's like,
That's what I
who
say.
are they? How can you let somebody else mess with your head? That's it. Do not be um do not be um anxious over things you have no control over. That's not the way there's a saying or a quote or something.
Yeah.
Do not be anxious over anything you've got no control over. That's primarily it. Because what's the sense? What's the sense in it? Why should you be anxious? You've got no control.
Right.
So if you're going to be, somebody's going to allow you to be upset to ruin your day. Why?
Right.
That's my outlook on it anyway. Kevin, how you doing?
What's up, Tom?
Rusty Vent. Where'd that come from?
I'm going to start using cartoon characters' names. I'm going to see if people recognize the reference.
Okay.
You know who Rusty Venture is?
No.
Nobody knows who Rusty
No
Venture
clue.
is.
Who was that? Was it Angel? Oh, I think it was Toaster I was talking to today. And she said, "Oh, well, I didn't recognize, your username." It's like I got like 4 different accounts in what's the name of that? Here's my epilepsy happening again. What's it called? Oh, Reddit. I have like 4 different accounts because of being banned so many times. And then find out that they know all my accounts are all linked together.
Yeah, you don't want to get clipped for that.
Well, I did.
ban
I
all
did
your
get clipped
accounts.
with that. I got banned, for using different accounts because that's, that goes against the rules too. Like going on Epilepsy with another account. I finally got banned from Reddit. I'm bad. They banned me for 7 days.
I think Annie texted me something about she had trouble with Reddit earlier, signing in and stuff. And it sounded like a ban, but then like I said, she sent me a text earlier. She logged on to say goodbye to people.
Yeah, you missed it.
I don't know. I was taking care of my daughter.
It's all right. That's perfect reason to not be here.
I mean, I have her cell phone number, so I can.
Actually, no. Excuse me, gentlemen. I need to go take my meds.
Okay.
Go do that. We need that. We need you here, Tom. Take those meds.
All right, everybody, stop your conversation and wait for me to come back. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Annie will text me with things, so. But.
Yeah, she came here and told me, so I didn't really need her to call.
I'm just like sad about it.
We'll be all right, Angel. Don't do that. We'll be all right.
That's my twin.
That's your twin in them, huh?
That's my seizure twin.
I was just telling them about because he has this icebreaker every time, that when you first log on and say, okay, there's an icebreaker. And this time was what would you say to somebody if you mentioned that you were an epileptic? And they said, so what? I would say, so oh well. And then I mentioned to them about your attitude when people like.
Does he know that he's unmuted?
I don't think so.
And I said, see, this is
half the time he does it.
I was tuned in for a second, but I muted him. Yeah, that one that said suppressing a seizure. None of us pretty much know how to do. Someone said concert.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors. Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.